once again. My name is Nike Adekunle and you're welcome to Relationship Talk with Nike. This platform is called Relationship Unfeigned, where we speak it as it is, we say it as it is without coloring it and without, sugarcoating it. So we are here on this platform, and if you are interested in building your relationship and moving it from where it is presently to that relationship of your dreams, you are in the right place, because we are going to learn about relationship and we're going to build the intimacy that we have always desired in the process. And so today I want to talk to us about third-party interventions in relationships or marriage. We are talking about third-party interventions today. And why do I want us to talk about third-party interventions? Because there's a lot of misconceptions around it, a lot of falsehood are thriving out there, and I think that we need to balance those half-truths that are out there when it comes to third parties in our relationship. And what do I mean by third-party intervention? I mean that in a relationship, we have two primary people in that relationship. Except for these days we have different kind of relationships, but let's say the real normal relationships, we have two primary people in the relationship. So we are talking about permitting any intervention, any external intervention aside those two people in the relationship, permitting external influences in your relationship. That is what we are talking about today. And I know that a lot of people say that it is risky. We have a lot of pros and cons surrounding it, and some people even have some religious cautions. They say that people talk about religious injunctions, such as we are two in this relationship. God bless two people, not three, and so why should you allow people in your relationship? But today, before we begin to talk about the pros and cons, I just want to tell open our hearts to see the kind of interventions that can happen in your relationship. So let's talk about the types of interventions that can happen in a relationship or a marriage. One, you can speak to friends, especially when you have a combat or a conflict in a relationship and you're trying to resolve it. Sometimes we talk to friends about it, and friends can be your colleagues at work, can be your neighbors, anybody that you consider a friend can come in to help resolve conflicts in a relationship. Sometimes people speak to family members when we have issues with our partners, because no matter what you do, there will always be conflicts. Conflicts are almost inevitable in any relationship. Whatever people are claiming, sincerely, it might not be totally true if people tell you that they don't have any form of conflicts. One person might have just decided to extend their understanding in such a way that they say that whatever you do will never offend me, but not that offenses would never come. So sometimes people speak to family members about the issues that they're going through in their relationship, and how productive will that be? How productive has that been? It will be the topic of our next conversation. But for today, I just want to open our eyes to the various types of interventions that we can have in our relationship and our marriage. Then other times people speak to religious leaders, in the religious settings. You're speaking to your pastor, your imam, your evangelist, your whatever. People speak to such people as well. And sometimes the people that got you wedded, you want to, take it back to them when you have issues with each other. So churches, mosques, and other religious settings, they've been of tremendous help to people when it comes to settling conflicts for couples. Then at other times too, have you thought about it that going to meetings and conferences is also a kind of intervention, because it shifts the way you think? Especially if you go to marriage conferences, relationship conferences, when you are there, you are allowing external influence into your space as well. So going for meetings and conferences is also a way of allowing third-party intervention in your relationship. You listen to what the speaker has to say, you judge what the person has said, and you pick those things that are useful to you. Then sometimes too, you listen to people's opinions, like speakers, their tapes, their books, all those kind of things can also help you to shape the way you relate with each other in your relationship. So these things too can help to facilitate the way you allow people into your relationship. So tapes of people, the books that people have written, they shape your mind when it comes to relationship. So I want to say that if you are thinking in this line now of having other influences, not just friends and family, because sometimes we narrow down the influences that we can have to friends and family alone, but any influence whatsoever, whether it is physically, online, whatever influence that you're allowing in your relationship, know that it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to ensure that whoever you are allowing in your space is the person that you trust their opinion. You can't have a friend that you don't trust his opinion and you are allowing that person in your space. There is a place where you should be responsible with the kind of people you allow in your space. If you call that person a friend, you have allowed that person to influence you, and so it is your responsibility to determine the kind of friends you keep. It is your responsibility to determine the kind of family member that you table your issues to. It is your responsibility to know the kind of messages you listen to, the kind of conferences that you allow in your space. Anybody that you have allowed in your space to influence you is your responsibility. So today I want to call your attention to the responsibility that is in your own hands. So whether or not you allow people in your space, know that someone is always influencing you. Someone is always influencing you. So who are the people that you are allowing in your space? So next time we'll continue to talk about this third party intervention. See you next time. Bye for now.